Speaker Sonny Belmonte has an appeal to candidates for president in next year's elections. He wants them to present their vision on the eradication of poverty. This report by Freddie Abando.
Speaker Feliciano Belmonte vowed the commitment of the House to give top priority to the passage of measures in support of the 2030 Agenda on Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations to end extreme poverty all over the world, a commitment that will go beyond the 16th Congress.
The advent of a new legislative agenda that will help determine the future of sustainable development in the country is most welcome. The Sustainable Development Goals are wide in scope, encompassing poverty, hunger, health, education, institutional development, infrastructure, life below water and on land, climate action, and so much more. The total eradication of poverty by itself is a given goal for any generation in any country. Indeed, Congress will play a significant role in translating plans into actions and achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. Many of the needed interventions in support of SDGs need to be translated into national legislation, as you have started this, and you have started this work already.
The Agenda's 17 Sustainable Development Goals are agreed by 193 member states in a consultative process held last September to review the Millennium Development Goals, which started in 2000 and ends this year. The global agenda will focus on people, planet, prosperity, peace, and partnerships. It provides a holistic agenda in unison with three dimensions of sustainable development: economic and environment. Human rights is a top priority, with special emphasis on gender equality and the empowerment of women and girls. UNDP Country Director Titon Mitra stressed the legislature will be key in passing legislation in support of the 2030 Agenda.
The parliamentarians will play a central role in translating and adapting the agenda into change on the ground through legislation, fiscal reforms, robust citizen participation, and effective oversight, evaluation, and accountability. So the opportunity before the People's Congress is to help lock in a long-term perspective in policy making that transcends the electoral cycle.
Speaker Belmonte stressed all presidential candidates for next year's elections should present their vision in support of the global agenda for the eradication of poverty by 2030. At the same time, Belmonte said Congress will go beyond legislation in support of the 17 Goals for Sustainable Development. He said the oversight functions of the House will ensure sustained review of all programs and projects implemented by the national government.
One of the things that the next Congress ought to be doing, emphasizing, is that we have oversight committees, and those oversight committees do exercise a certain amount of power on the implementing agencies of the national government, of the executive branch. Then too, there is much work for the executive branch itself, which will implement the plans and programs that will fulfill SDG. This is why each and every presidential today is expected to be able to articulate the necessary strategies and actions on each of these goals. This competency is non-negotiable. In case we have not heard this from any of them yet, maybe we ought to send them a copy of this so that they can input this into their speeches, their stands, and so forth, so that the public at large will also be enlightened.
For the People's Television Network, this is Freddie Abando reporting.